whenever you guys are ready to start.
Well, Will's our guy that starts.
Hi, everyone.
Well, we're already off to a great start, aren't we?
America, Canada, wherever the hell you happen to be, welcome back to this thing.
Indeed. Welcome back, everybody.
You know, the thing.
Yeah, the thing.
The thing.
Did you get that thing I sent you?
So, Will, you want to tell us what's going on?
So to start off the podcast today, I want to give a quick shout out, because I forgot to do this last episode, to Mike from Computer Mafia, who got my computer up and running after the Windows update a couple months ago wrecked it, and I couldn't even get it past the power save screen. But I wanted to give him a shout out because he's been helping me out whenever I've had really bad computer problems, and he's a local business and he's been hanging on during COVID. So if anyone's in the Philly area and needs like computer repairs, please Google Computer Mafia. The guy does top-notch work and his prices are really reasonable. So I wanted to give him a shout out so he gets some more business. You know,
Better yet, follow the link in the description.
Indeed.
Wait a minute.
And remember,
Nice.
Indeed. So just remember, kids,
are we
whenever
doing
you have
this?
a problem, go straight to the mob.
You know what? He made me an offer I could not refuse. He fixed my computer for a very solid price. So I mean,
Listen, the fact that he got your shit up and running is good. So, hey, props to
I was
him.
really happy about that.
Yeah, if you're in Philly area, give him business.
Look what they've done to my motherboard.
Even if you're like surrounding Philly and you don't mind taking a slight, 30-minute or so drive, definitely look this guy up. He's great. So,
Cool.
All right. So, I guess now there's no more delaying.
No, there ain't, buddy.
Yeah,
no, there ain't.
There's no more delaying the fact that. So we have questions again this week.
Oh no.
Oh no! You don't get to go do this bullshit today. And you don't get to do this bullshit today, Mr. ER.
All right. You know what? He's right. All right. So, for those of you who don't know,
which is everyone, because it
literally happened today.
So that was an interesting. I just like to set this frame. It's like I had a really intense day at work. I finally catch a break. I'm on lunch. I'll go check Discord, see if there's any information about the podcast tonight, or just anyone who's talking whatever. And I go down and I see the first Discord message from Will going, not sure if I can record today. I'm in the ER. Dated 2:51 a.m. last night.
Yeah. So here's where it gets fun. So Tuesday, I went to bed around 9 p.m. after taking a half hour to get up out of a chair and taking about 45 minutes to get up the stairs. What happened was I was at work. And for those of you who don't know, about 2 years ago, I had a herniated disc which required surgery.
I have a fun story about that, but we'll come back to that after you're done.
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean a fun story?
Oh, because I
fun
texted
in
him
gigantic air quotes.
I texted him while I was loopy on surgery drugs.
You did not text me.
Well, I don't remember. I was loopy on surgery drugs.
Yeah, you know who did text me?
My mom.
Yeah, your mom's like, hey, Dave, Will's in the hospital and he just wants to let you know he's okay. And my response was to immediately call her and go, what the fuck? Because you got your mom to text me.
Well, I didn't have my phone. What was I gonna do? Let me text you with the air phone that I don't have in my hands right now as I'm getting wheeled in.
You were a 28-year-old man asked your mom to text your friend. Your friend who was...
Because she showed up. This is pre-COVID, by the way. This is like December 2018. She showed up to be there because she's a nurse. And she wanted to get, like, information about what was going on. And while she was there, I said, oh, yeah, I think you have Dave's number. Text him.
Right.
I was loopy on surgery drugs, so that was the thing. I'm like, I want to let Dave know, because I know, like,
the funny thing is that this story is a capstone to something, because for months before that, you were complaining about back pain. And everyone else under the sun was telling your ass to go see a doctor.
4 months.
And then finally, and this finally culminated into the news that you had to get emergency back surgery, which I got from your mom at 9 p.m. on a Friday night.
No, technically you got that on a Saturday because she didn't text you till Saturday.
You're right, she didn't. I got it it was Saturday night. I had finished dinner. I had finished cleaning up from dinner. I was having a good Saturday night, and then I learned my friend's in the hospital having gotten emergency back surgery.
That's how I do, dude. That's how I do.
I love you, Will, but God damn it, go fuck yourself.
All right, so let's get back to the story that happened last night.
So
So the other story.
All right, so
Will's back.
I got two I could tell within a 3-year time span. This is great. Never get old, kids. So I'm at work yesterday, sitting, by the way, at my desk on a special pillow. Hold on, real quick. I want to look this up.
Is it one of those butt pillows?
Kinda, yeah. Hold on, I'm gonna send Tino a link to this thing because I want you to know exactly what I was sitting on.
How many product placements are we gonna do in this podcast?
Well, I'm not
until one of them starts paying us money.
You know,
eventually someone's gonna pay us.
Or sue us. I mean, it's one of the
big fingers crossed on the pay us, not the sue us part.
It's all right. We're not big enough yet.
But anyway,
they'll pay us.
This is the reason why I'm sending this to Tino is because this way he could put up an image of it so people could see what I'm sitting on.
Yeah, and also we all get to look at it while you're doing that. So because I have a suspicion that this is identical to a product that a guy I know uses.
Yeah. So basically, this thing. I started sitting on it like after my surgery when I was at work, and for 2 years it helps like with posture and all that other stuff. So I if I didn't sit on it, I noticed that like sometimes my back would get sore. When I sat on it, I was fine. So I'm at work Tuesday, sitting on this thing, when all of a sudden, just like from like the dial is at 0. And someone cranked it up to an 8 while I'm just sitting there on my lower right-hand side. And I almost fall out of my chair. And I'm like, yeah, well, I'm sitting at work. Not when I was at the gym yesterday or Friday or Thursday the day before. It's like,
it may have been caused by your time at the gym.
It may have been. I don't know. So, as the day goes on, this pain gets progressively worse. And I'm standing up and sitting down in this one chair, and eventually I'm no longer able to stand up from this chair easily, and it takes me 30 minutes. I go to bed, I take an ibuprofen and a muscle relaxer, thinking maybe this will help. I also have a pillow under my knees and a hot water bottle right in the spot where it hurts. I get 3 hours or so of sleep. I then wake up. I'm unable to get out of bed for about an hour. Like, I'm on my back. I can't even turn because the slightest, like, movement, I get a big pain in that area. Now, here's the fun part about this. When I have big pain in that area and, like, when it flares up, my body instinctively wants to, like move around to get to a comfortable position. That makes it hurt worse because the comfortable position is being prone on my back. So any semblance of pain makes me move from that position, so I just get into more pain, which is great.
You got a neurological feedback loop there.
Oh, yeah, it's all kind of,
your symptoms sound exactly like I threw out my back a couple months ago. This literally sounds exactly like what was happening to you.
Yeah. So I eventually get to the hospital. I'm just going to skip forward because the rest of it is just me trying to get my wallet with my, insurance card and my keys and my phone, and it's a big mess. Had to have my parents drive me because there was I had to basically use a plank of wood, like a big, like Moses with the staff when he's parting the Red Sea. I was trying to use that to hobble my way to a vehicle. So I'm like, Here's a good analogy.
Were you shouting "Sanctuary" the whole time?
No. It's if you've ever played any of the original Resident Evil games, when they're in danger, I was kind of doing that limp.
Did you have Did you have the
great.
red? If we went into your pause screen, did the thing say condition dire, and you had the red? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Danger.
Thank you.
So I get there, and I text Dave after I get there, and my parents left the waiting room around 3 a.m. because one, there's nothing they could do for me. I just got to wait for room to open up so that I could get examined, and two, because of the pandemic going on, no unnecessary people in the waiting room. I'm like, all right, whatever, I'll tough it out. I'm in the waiting room for 3 hours. And the only reason why I think I got back there ahead of some other people is because at one point they had staff asking people to come back and check their vitals. And everyone who was asked was able to stand up and stroll on over to where they were getting their vitals checked. And I'm trying to see what is... I'm not seeing people who are bleeding or have gunshots or overdosing or anything like that. These are people that are just... They look like they're just hanging out in a regular waiting room. They don't... Now, granted, I'm not saying they didn't have anything wrong with them, but they're mobile, they're able to talk, all this other stuff. I think the reason why is because at one point I asked one of the staff where the bathroom was, and he pointed to where it was, and I guess he thought I was going to get out of my wheelchair and walk to it, and then he sees me slowly wheeling my way over there. He's like, yeah, let's get you back. I'm like, oh, thank God. So...
Yeah, because I was awake throughout the whole night, so I remember the length of time between when you posted that you were in the ER and when you updated me and said, yeah, I still haven't been seen yet. And I was like, what the heck? What's going on in that hospital?
Yeah. Yep. So here's something that I can tell you that was going on. Part of what was going on at the hospital was there seems to have been a lot of jazz musicians there that night.
Okay.
There was a jazz fight.
People
jazz
just
brawl.
scratching at their skin and maybe needing some Narcan and.
Yeah.
Okay. I was about to ask if somebody had gotten a little too good with the saxophone and Slade, but I guess not.
I mean, that would have been preferable, but I'm listening to people ask the nurse to bring them a can of Raid to get rid of the ants crawling on their skin. And I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, get me out of here. Now...
Well, it's not contagious.
No, but it's at the same time, that's not the place where you want to be in this situation. Look, last time I was in that emergency room, I was next to someone who died next to me.
Yeah.
Okay, fair.
I don't want to go through that again.
Oh God, what is with
any chance you guys can do something about the dead guy that left me?
No, that was all right. So quick detour.
Do you guys have a morgue?
I'm envisioning this story as you're just lying there and going, "How you doing, buddy?" And then you see the guy's just lying there, eyes open, mouth gape, and you're like, "Oh, you're dead."
No, so what happened was, so I'm gonna deviate a little bit. Last time I was at this ER, I got wheeled in for my herniated disc. They were asking me a bunch of questions. They finally gave me 3 injections, one of which was morphine, and 2 of which were saline.
Oh gosh, they inject you with morphine. Okay, that's what they gave the guy in Saving Private Ryan right before he died.
Yeah.
That's true.
So the first.
But I mean, it's a common pain drug especially when getting surgery.
The first injection they gave me was saline to kind of flush out the line and get my body used to anything coming in. Mm-hmm. Then they give you the morphine, which took my pain at that point from a 10 to a 4.
That is what morphine does.
Yeah. Then they inject another thing of saline to push the rest of the morphine in because they put a port in my arm.
Yeah.
So they inject the rest of the saline to push the rest of the morphine in. And that took my pain from a 4 to a 1. Now, I'm feeling great. I haven't felt this good in months. Yeah. But I'm in this big trauma
it's the good
bag.
shit. Morphine, straight up. So when my dad got his big heart surgery, that stuff, he was sitting there with, and My father was sitting there with tubes coming out of his chest, which he said, and all he could say was, "This is mildly uncomfortable."
Yeah.
You should have you should have told the nurse, "Oh, it hurts again. You need some more."
Oh God. So, yeah, morphine. I learned I was a big lightweight for morphine because they put in like the drip that had like the bare minimum amount of morphine needed for pain relief.
I just want to. Sorry, I started to interrupt, but do you ever want to be resistant to morphine in a situation like this?
No. I'm
That's
happy
what I thought.
No, I'm saying this is how much of a lightweight I was, and I'm happy I was. They gave me the bare minimum, and I literally slept for like 9 hours straight with a herniated disc causing me previously 10 out of 10 pain. But anyway, so when I'm still in the trauma bay, so after they get me hooked up with morphine, they bring over a table so I could put like my Zune on it and just listen to a podcast. So I'm kind of doing that, and I'm like kind of like dozing off a little bit, like I'm feeling tired, and then the trauma bay doors open, and it's this big wheel-in bed surrounded by like 10 different doctors and nurses. They quickly pull the curtain between me and the next thing over, and I hear them like, trying to work on this guy, and I don't really make out what's going on because, I got my earbuds in, and I finally realized like, oh, I should take these out. So I take him out, and the doctors and nurses are starting to like walk away for a bit because the guy's kind of stabilized. So they all leave, and just me and this guy in here. And I can't really see anything, but where the curtain is, there's like if this is the floor, this is the curtain, so you could kind of see. So I'm kind of looking to see what's under the curtain, and I just see this big wave of vomit hit the floor.
Wait, are we on the first herniated disc?
Yeah, the first
story
herniated
still?
disc.
Okay, because I'm like, this is starting to sound familiar. Did this happen a second time?
No.
This entire episode. This entire
if it did, I would have been like, no, I'm
be...
afraid to podcast tonight, guys.
Dude, yeah, this
get back to the second story.
I'm almost there. So these two nurses walk back in. The guy just goes, "I think I threw up a little." At which point I'm like, oh, fuck this. I let myself fall asleep, and about 20 minutes later I wake up, and I just look to my left, and the curtain's still there, but the bed's gone. There's two nurses there. There's something on the floor to clean up the vomit, and all I hear them saying is like, 29 years old, right? And they're like, yeah, shame when they go so young. We got to throw his clothes out. And I'm just like, someone died next to me?
I took a nap and someone's life went away.
Yeah, no, I'm like Jesus. If God was aiming to get me, I'm glad he has bad aim.
Literally missed the target AC by 1.
Yeah.
I was so I scared the hell out of the nurses when I blew
I'm
that
sorry,
out,
I had to.
But anyway, so I go in last night, or actually this morning, I should say, and they're getting my information. I'm so out of it because I had literally slept 4 hours over the course of 28, like from 5 a.m. Tuesday to about when I got in there and was getting ready to leave. I slept maybe 4 hours, Tuesday night into today. So they're talking to me, and the doctor is asking like, I need to make sure you're not trying to get pain meds. Now I'm there. I'm in a robe and sweatpants, so I'm not exactly looking all dapper. I'm like, and I just go, lady, and I just roll up my sleeve. I say lady to the poor doctor who's dealing with my, idiot self. But I roll up my sleeve, and I'm just like, there's no track marks. If you want to check, I'm not wearing socks, so I'll take my slippers off. You can look between my toes. Well, whatever you want to look at, you can look at. I don't care. And she's like, okay, I'm like, look, I've been here before. Previous surgery for herniated disc. I was given Oxycontin to take home, and I flushed it because I didn't need it. And she's like, all right, well, I just had to check to make sure. I'm like, no, I get it. I'm just letting you know because I want to get some treatment here.
In the future, I would say don't flush drugs down the toilet because that causes some pretty bad environmental damage. But anyway.
Yeah.
I didn't know about that, but that was back then. So I know better now.
I mean, the sludge down there is toxic
your
enough
apology
as it is.
isn't good enough, and you are now canceled. So.
Oh.
Yeah? Yeah, you going to take me down, Steve? Let's see
Look,
it.
man, I don't make the rules on Twitter.
I think you do.
Wait, we're on Twitter?
Yeah, you do. You're like a math guy.
We are now.
Oh, shit. I'm sorry, where were we?
So anyway, so she gives me like this big injection. Yeah, she gives me this big injection in my arm, and I actually that was actually a painful injection. Like she had this like literally it was like a syringe. Like trying to find something. Like if you have like a thing like this, but like 3 times as long, she injects this big thing of like pain.
Oh, turkey based. You got a turkey baster needle.
Yeah. Then I got 3 prednisone and 1 Percocet. And eventually I felt better. And then she actually made me like stand up and walk around a little bit. She's like, I want to see if you could be discharged. I'm like, oh, I need to be discharged. I can't deal with like all these jazz musicians here. So I'm
jazz musicians.
So I'm trying to walk in a circle. It took me 10 minutes to walk in a circle that maybe has like a 5-foot diameter. And I just sit back down in the chair with like a loud thud. And the doctor's like, that's not great. I'm like, but I could go home, right?
So I missed that. So your audio cut out.
Podcast later.
Yeah, so your audio cut out right when you got to the good part of the story, and I don't want to make you repeat it. Your audio cut out for me.
Maybe for you. It didn't cut out for us.
Yeah. Can someone give me a quick summary of what happened to Will after he got the injection?
Basically, I had to walk in a circle that had about a 5-foot diameter. It took me 10 minutes to do so. When I plopped back down in my wheelchair, the doctor said that's not great, and I'm just like, but I could go home, right?
There we go. Yeah. Oh yeah, that sounds like you. So what are you on now? What do they have you on, a cocktail of drugs, or are you just?
Yeah, show them your pharmacy.
Man. So just here, just voluntarily violating all his own HIPAA rights.
Yeah, they gave me all these.
Oh damn!
Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna tell
you. Don't have to read. Will, for legal reasons, please don't read out those.
Why who's gonna?
It's my information.
Who's gonna sue who?
I don't know.
So they basically gave me 600 milligram ibuprofen, the stuff you can't get in stores. They gave me prednisone and oxycodone.
So you have some shit. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, good
here's
job.
The thing, though.
Nicely done, Dr. House.
I was about to say, are you going to start walking around with a cane and diagnosing infections?
No. Here's
and become even more of a jerk.
So technically, I don't have to take the oxycodone, which I'm going to try to not do if I can avoid it. Because that's only if my pain goes above like a 7. Otherwise, I'm just supposed to take the ibuprofen once every 6 hours, and then the prednisone once a day.
Your oxy is literally your Godzilla threshold pain. It's for drug addiction is not worse than pain that will literally give me a heart attack.
But there's something that I was telling Steve earlier that I want to add in here because I think it'll be fun. So when the doctor first told me that if I could walk, I could go home, not only was my thought, God, I got to get away from all these jazz musicians, but initially I was going to cancel recording today. And then I thought, wait a minute. If I could get out of the hospital and go home and record, this is prime fodder for this show. Indeed, so part of my motivation was to come back and record for the podcast.
Will look much like my favorite story from the old Super Best Friend cast being Wooly's family revelations. That he immediately decides upon having to, this is now a podcast story. I applaud you for bringing us this wonderful food.
Yeah, thanks for your sacrifice.
Well, when it comes to podcasts, you can stop anytime you want,
Yeah.
Right?
I know you don't want to, but
no.
There is help.
No. There is. I mean, PA is a legitimate organization.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not so sure.
What is this, an intervention now?
No. All right, listen. Why don't you read out those questions that your mom made up?
Well, I mean, I had No, that was just gonna go around.
This week that was just a joke to delay telling the hospital story.
Okay, you sure it wasn't just all Neris?
Do I have to show you screenshots of every time people ask questions? I'll do it again.
No. You don't have to.
No.
Oh, I'm gonna.
No,
I'm gonna. Dracula called and he said he's coming over tonight, and I said okay.
Look, there's only one in the known universe. Thank God I bought the 3-pack.
Thank God I got 3 shells. You can stay with us, Carl, as long as you have them pills.
I've tried watching Aqua Teen Hunger Force again to try to catch some of these things, and I still have no idea what the heck you guys are talking about.
Tino,
you have to watch
no
seasons
hope.
like 1 through 4, because we quote 1 through 4 the most. It kind of dropped off a little bit later.
And the problem is, if you didn't watch it between the ages of 20 and 25, then as an adult, you are too aware of the surreality to find the plot.
I watched it when I was 18, and I got a headache.
That's why I said 20 to 25.
That sounds like Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
About right, yeah.
I remember meeting you guys for the first time. Like, first time I was hanging out with Will and Dave in their dorm, and one of you guys had Aqua Teen Hunger Force on. I assume it was Will, and I just remember standing there watching this, being like, I can feel my neurons misfiring.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not wrong. It's Aqua Teen lives on its surreality. It is a punchline of a show. I think part of the joy is I think most of the scripts were improvised.
Look, I told you that I was not a leprechaun, that I was from Rhode Island, and that I was half Korean, and you said it didn't matter.
Happy St. Patrick's Day, everyone.
Yep.
Oh, God.
We hit the holidays.
My boss signed off today after the end of a long work day by saying, after I told him the final thing I was reconciling, he was like, thanks, have a drink. And that was the last thing he said to me today.
Oh, boy.
I'd like to point out that he's an Italian New Yorker, and I have no idea where he's getting it from.
Oh, probably from being an Italian New Yorker.
Fair enough.
I don't know. I don't know. It is a Wednesday. It's a little early to be partying.
Speak for yourself.
What do you mean?
I mean, in defense of the dude, he has 4 kids, all under the age of 5. So,
so he's an alcoholic already. I got it.
Yeah,
I would think so. I hope, boss, if you by some miracle you listen to this, I don't mean it.
Sure.
I think if everyone who we knew listened to this and thought we meant half of what we said, we'd be dead already. Would have just killed us months ago.
Yeah, probably will still kill us one day.
Probably. That's definite.
I said will.
Oh, I thought you said probably will.
I did tell my boss once that I do a podcast every now and then, and he's like, "Oh, what's that about?" I'm like, I don't want to talk about it.
It's better if I just surprise you with it.
The only person aside from you guys who I care about who knows about this podcast is my girlfriend.
Aww.
Because I told my mom once, and I made an effort to make her forget.
Actually.
What?
Well, Flora's a big fan of this podcast, so.
Natalie actually likes when I bring her up on the podcast, so before we jump in with Steve, I actually got a quick story about this past weekend that I spent with her. So, we're at, her sister's dog is a pain in my side. And Sunday, I developed a strategy on how to handle her sister's dog.
Are we talking about Beto?
Yes.
/Barko?
Yes.
Barko.
Is he? Will, just to remind our audience, describe this dog again.
All right, so Barko is a Schnauzer who.
So he is a pocket. So he's a purse dog.
Yes.
That's all you need to know.
And the reason why his nickname is Barko is because at one point, Natalie accidentally called him Barko, and I had gotten no sleep, but I perked right up when she said that. I'm like, what was his name? And she's like, oh, no. So I told her. So we went to her. This was right before we went with her parents to, I think, the flower show. This is right before COVID really took over. So February 2020. And later on, they left to go home. Natalie and I are just watching a movie, and Natalie gets a text from her sister, Kate, just saying, like, so I hear my dog's name is Barko now. So word traveled back, and Barko is now what I like to call him. So
Barko is a better name than Beto.
Yeah. So Barko was like, so we got up, and when I got out, I'm on the second floor, and he's on the second floor. He comes out barking at me, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Daylight savings just happened. I'm like, I'm not dealing with this. So I start to walk down the stairs. Barko, in order to get ahead of me, rushes ahead and starts hopping down the stairs. He does it in a way like, do you ever see a kid play with like one of those toy plastic animals where he just makes them hop? That's how he goes downstairs.
Oh yeah, dog taking the stairs 3 stairs at a time.
Yeah. So I see him going down the stairs, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have an idea. So I just went back upstairs, and he went all the way downstairs while still barking. And when he reached the first floor, he realized that I wasn't there, and then he started crying. He was sad. I'm like, oh man, that's effective. And then later that day, he was upstairs. We were both upstairs again because I was like packing up, getting ready to go home. And I went on the stairs, and he went all the way down the stairs, and I went back upstairs, and I just stood at the top of the stairs looking over, and he went down the stairs again and just gave me this look. Like, he looked up and gave me this look like, betrayal.
Yeah, no, that's a dog. So you're mostly a cat man, Will. As a dog dude, I will explain. Yes, a dog will consider that a deep and profound betrayal. If you do the thing where you fake throw the ball, or if you feint them and get them to run somewhere where you're not running, and that betrayal will be forgotten in the next 10 minutes.
Well, there's another thing that goes into that, and it's small dogs have absurd Napoleon complexes.
Okay.
My family used to own a Pomeranian, and
Natalie is not going to like this section of the podcast. I know that now.
My God.
And we lived in a part. We lived in a part of Pennsylvania where Mennonites and Amish lived, and like horse and buggies would go past our house all the time. We had to make sure that the dog was either on a leash or inside, because there was one time that she was out loose and she tried to pick a fight with the horse. That's what these little dogs are like. If she was a German Shepherd, she would have left it alone. But because she's this little 5-pound fluff ball, she tried to pick a fight with a half-ton animal. She tried to pick a fight with her lawnmower once and lost. She got sucked into it. She didn't die, but she got sucked into it. And I came home to find her covered in oil stains, and I was like, "What happened?" And my mom was like, "Well, the dog's suicidal, apparently."
So, oh God. So my sister-in-law loves dogs, like obsessively loves dogs. Like she named her current dog, her and my brother's current dog, Godot, because quote unquote, I've been waiting for this dog my entire life. She is the person I got the term purse dog from. Godot is a big girl. She despises small dogs because they
I don't blame her.
They live to pick fights. And what gets to me is that once again, Godot is a big girl. She is, and at this point, thanks to my brother's workout schedule for her, she's now a big muscle dog. And these tiny little yipping little fluffs of bullshit still want to pick fights with this much larger, much more experienced dog.
So I will say, I'm gonna actually defend a little bit, and not just because I'm gonna get in trouble with Natalie and Kate. I'm not defending Barko, but my Aunt Olga has a dog named Ollie, who's like this tiny little hypoallergenic dog. Friendliest little dog ever. Like, he's a purse dog, but he's super, like, he'll I've heard him bark once in my life.
It really depends, honestly, on breed, because you know who else is real, because people love corgis, and corgis are one of the few small dogs I will defend to the death.
Yeah, they're nice.
Why? Because it's the Cowboy Bebop dog.
Yes. Also, because have you seen corgis? They are adorable.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'm not saying
bread
they're not,
loaves.
I don't know.
I'm with you on the breeding thing, though, because Pomeranians, I mean, they were bred in a specific part of Germany to basically be alarm dogs. They would like sleep at the foot of a nobleman's bed, and if anyone tried to break in, the whole castle would know within a few seconds.
Pretty much.
Well, that being said about dogs, first off, I know Natalie and Kate are probably not going to like our opinions on that, but now that we've gotten
he's frozen.
Steve.
Oh, he's
Steve,
back.
I think it's time for you to teach us how to speed run this podcast.
Well, I was going to ask if I could tell a story before that, but...
Oh, yeah, sure.
Well, hold on, it depends. What is your story?
Well, I mean, it was just going to be a little weak thing, because I had an interest... Because I did want to talk about my experience getting my COVID poke.
Oh, you got your vaccination?
I got one of them, yeah.
Yeah, I got one of them too. My second one is on Monday.
I'm still waiting.
Oh, cool.
One.
My second one's on the 30th. It's actually kind of funny, Steve, because when I got it, I was in your area.
Oh, did you go to the Gloucester County one?
I went to Rowan University.
University or the community college? Did you go to Rowan College?
Yeah, Rowan.
No. So Rowan has a university, like straight up university, and then there's a Rowan College. That's the community college.
I went to the one with a medical school, because all the student doctors were the ones who were running the actual thing.
Okay. So you went to the actual university. That's interesting. I didn't know that they were running like vaccinations as well. Because I went to the one that's the community college, which is the community college that I actually went to growing up when I got my first degree. It was called Gloucester County Community College at the time, but then Rowan purchased it and then they renamed it to Rowan College. So anyway, tangential, but yeah.
Cat.
I got my there's a cat.
Cat.
There's a cat right over there. That's Sephiroth.
You know it's
Steffi.
funny. So today is St. Patrick's Day, but it's also there's another saint. It's like the saint of cats or something.
Saint
Gertrude of cats, Saint Gertrude of Nivelles, the patron saint of cats. Her feast is also today. It's March 17th.
I am now coming up with the idea of a Tabaxi cleric named Gertrude. Thank you.
Well, you know what? Cats always seem pretty drunk anyway, so I think it's a pretty fitting day.
It is.
I'd say so.
But yeah,
Thank
no,
you,
Steve,
for that brief
tell after this long opening cutscene, tell us how to speedrun this podcast.
Well, what you do is you got to glitch through the wall, and
greetings from Germany.
Greetings from Germany. My wife's son loves you guys.
We have a donation. We have a $25 donation. My grandfather just passed away from cancer.
From ligma.
Yeah, we right after it, we have a $50 donation. Greetings from Germany.
Kick butt, you guys.
So kill the animals.
Yeah. So my topic, I guess, because this is my week to do a topic, I wanted to talk about speedruns because I really enjoy watching speedruns. I've been watching them since like 2008 or so. Like very, very no, even longer than that. Probably like 2004. When I was still living with my parents, going to community college. I used to watch like speedruns of like Earthbound, Super Mario Brothers, Final Fantasy. Like the community was pretty big even back then, but it's been exploding over the years, thanks to Games Done Quick, which is a not bi-yearly, twice a year marathon.
Biannual.
One in January. Biannual. No, biannual is every other year, isn't it?
Or is it semi-annual? Semi-annual. That's it. Semi-annual.
That would be. Yeah. Yes. You're correct.
No, it's biannual.
It's
biannual
biannual?
is occurring twice a year.
Twice a year. Okay. All right. Thanks. We got it, guys.
Thank you, Will.
It's a biannual speedrun event. It occurs once in January, and then the second one's usually in July/August. It kind of depends. I think they change it every year.
Well, I think now it's just a rolling thing due to COVID.
Yes, that's true. So it started in, I want to say 2012, maybe 2011.
In a basement.
Yeah, they did it in a basement because they were initially scheduled to do it at MagFest East, not Mag West, at Mag Fest East. But it got canceled for some reason. But the guy didn't want to cancel it, so he's like, fuck it, we'll just do it in my parents' basement. So they did. They brought all the people that were going to run over to their house, and they just, set up some camera equipment and some live streaming, and they just did it.
And his parents were probably like, what is going on here?
Yeah, I'm sure his parents were real thrilled to have a bunch of strangers in their house.
I mean, they should be now. The dude's pulling in 6 figures a year doing nothing.
That's true. So,
man, I did the same thing with LAN parties, and all I got was some memories.
a lot of soda stains on your carpet.
Yeah, pretty much. Soda,
Doritos.
How dare you
create precious memories with your friends.
I don't remember those. But
thanks, guys. You didn't make me wealthy.
Yeah. But anyway, it's really
you didn't broadcast it. That's why.
Yeah, they've been doing it twice a year, every year up until even now. Even during COVID, now they do it online, and. It's a really big thing now, and I really love watching them, and I just wanted to get if you guys had any questions about it, or if you wanted to talk about it, or anything like that. Like, I know that Will knows about them. We like to talk about Resident Evil, all the time, and Resident Evil is my favorite franchise to watch speedrun, because there's not a whole lot of glitching involved or any shortcuts. I mean, there's maybe one or two that I may be missing, but for the most part, it's just you got to run through the game as best you can, and that's just like raw skill. No, using cheats. I don't want to call it cheats, but it's trying to get an advantage
glitches
over
or
the
shortcuts.
Game. Yeah, trying to get an advantage over the game, and there's a place for that. I'm okay with glitches. I think they have their own place, but I'm more.
But that's why they also have their own category.
Yeah, and I'm more of a fan of just the raw skill. Try and beat the game as quickly as humanly possible. Those are the speedruns that I'm in. And Resident Evil, the franchise, is a really good example of that. So, anyway, I guess that's all I really wanted to say. So,
I will ask this.
Yeah.
Where do tool-assisted speedruns fit into all of this?
So tool-assisted speedruns are an entirely different category. Number one, they're not accepted on the general leaderboard. There's a website called speedrun.com. That's the one that most people post on now. They used to use Speed Demos Archive, which is the website that Games Done Quick kind of spawned from. And that site is still up, but I think it's generally accepted that speedrun.com is the place to upload your submissions at this point. But tool-assisted speedruns, they're not accepted in that realm at all. They have their own separate community and their own separate leaderboards and things like that. And they take a lot of time to complete, because they have to. Number one, it's done on emulator. There's no way you can do it on actual console. But what they do is they run a certain segment of a game, and they try and get the exact perfect jump, the exact perfect execution of a skill or a command or something, and but if they screw up, they can just wind it back because it's an emulator, and then they re-record it, and they just splice everything together to make a perfect run.
Yeah, that just sounds like cheating to me.
Yeah, I misunderstood what they were, because I thought it was, okay, we're going to do a speed run, but we're going to use dev tools we mined out of the game to just break the game into pieces.
No, basically,
they don't.
It's like automatic Mario in a way. Imagine playing any Mario
That
level.
is much more disappointing than my idea, because my idea would be we're going to speed run this game, but I'm also going to show you something about how it was made and how it's constructed.
Well, there are places for that. Like Games Done Quick does have a segment for tool-assisted speedruns. They do what do they call that? The
TaskBot.
Yeah, the TaskBot. The TaskBot. They do a block of a couple games.
Yeah, but yeah, but like Tino said, it's just cheating. What I wanted was
not necessarily.
What I wanted was.
I wouldn't call it
cheating. It's not. All right, so TAS isn't cheating in the sense that it's more like if a human could play the game perfectly, this is what it would look like.
Yeah, I would put it more. I would put it more in the art section of speedrunning, because you're constructing the perfect masterpiece of running a game the best possible way. And these speedruns, they're recorded and they're put into a file, and you can download those files and play it back on your emulator, and you can just do it yourself. They're
okay.
scripts essentially.
So,
all right.
so you would
it's
say
something different from what I thought it was.
So if I was going to describe it in terms of an analogy, a normal speed run would be like somebody running like 100-meter sprint, and then one of these tool assisted would be like somebody choreographing a 100-meter sprint.
Yeah, I suppose so. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. So I guess the kind of speed run I'm actually looking for is, hey, so we glitched this wall and we found the debug menu.
Well,
it was hiding here behind the wall the whole time.
Well, actually, it's very interesting you brought that up because Final Fantasy VII has a very, very short speed run on the PC version, and it's because they use what's called, I think it's called memory corruption. So they go basically.
That's the shit I'm looking for. Okay.
Yeah. So the way it works is, and this has changed over the last year or two, and I haven't really been keeping up with the PC version of FF7, but the way it works is you have two files on your, inside your game. Like, how you have saves in the game. So they have one save that is like the one that you're running, and then the second save is like a glitched actual memory corrupted save file. Basically, it's like all the characters have 0 HP. So when you go into that memory, if you go into that save, you load the save, and then you go into a battle, your characters just die immediately. And that manipulates the game a little bit on your first save, and it can transport you into the debug room. And the debug room then puts you all the way to the very end of the game where you fight the final Sephiroth fight, where you just use Omni-Slash and kill.
Okay, so what do you mean by the debug room? Was that a developer area where they were
it's
testing
basically
different?
Basically it's when you're developing a game, you create a little area that's not actually going to be in the final game where you can drop your models and test animations and test interactions and whatnot.
And you can put shortcuts in the game too, because developers, they're constantly bug testing and looking for glitches, looking for bugs. So they'll put certain spots,
and they don't have time to replay the whole game. So
yeah, exactly. So they'll put spots where it's like, okay, we're going to put you on disc 2, and in front of the huge materia on the rocket, and they'll test that. And so that the debug room, in the speedrun sense, is a way of getting to the very end of the game that gets you to fight Sephiroth and then finish the game. The speedrun's only 2 hours long. Let me look it up.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned debug rooms because now that you've described to me what it is, that actually ended up becoming one of the levels in the first Halo game. The silent cartographer. If you guys have played that level, it's
God, you're kidding me.
That huge island where you have to go down into the substructure of Halo and find the map room that leads you to the control room and all that. Well, it turns out that was their debug level where they tested everything, and then eventually they were like, you know what? Let's actually make this part.
The final game.
Yeah, let's make it part of the campaign. So,
man.
I'm actually kind of surprised that the level works as well as it does, given the fact that it was just for testing.
Yeah. So
that's the thing. They probably refined it before they made it an actual level.
Well, sure.
Tino, I have a confession
it to be
to
like
make.
A glitch fest.
Yeah. So the current world record for Final Fantasy VII on PC is 1 hour and 51 minutes flat.
Wow.
By some guy named Hype Ghost. So yeah, very, very short speed run. They actually did it at Games Done Quick, Awesome Games Done Quick, back in January. They showcased it, so it's on YouTube if you want to watch it. And so and I like that Games Done Quick, they kind of explain what they're doing. It's not as exciting when you're just watching someone go for the world record, because they don't have time to explain shit that they're doing. They're concentrating to be the best.
I want to know how you're taking this plank, and I want you to describe how you're breaking it over your knee.
So Games Done Quick is almost like the ESPN commentators of this.
So it's formatted like there's the runner that's playing the game, and then they have the couch, which is behind them. It's usually his group of friends or other runners of the game that have knowledge of what he's running, and they'll be the ones that are commentating what he's actually doing. Some of the runners actually will commentate while they're playing. It just depends on the personality of the person. Yeah.
Right.
Like, some of them are really friendly. Like, Kizaron seems like such a nice dude.
Kizaron's really good. All the Final Fantasy, PlayStation Final Fantasy runners are really awesome. Like, Mutsky's really good. He plays Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9. Who else is also good?
A lot of the Pokemon...
Toju is really good.
A lot of the Pokemon speedrunners, too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one thing I will say. I tend to gravitate more towards people who seem like not only are they showcasing how to speedrun the game, and maybe they're not necessarily going for a record, but they also want to, like, they're doing it in a way where they're trying to encourage people to get into speedrunning the game as well.
Yeah.
So I tend to gravitate towards people like that just because they, I feel like, oh, if I ever want to give this a shot, I could watch your runs, and I feel like I'm going to get a good idea of how to do it.
Every single game or franchise has their own Discord server for speedrunning, and it's filled with guides, filled with people who are willing to help you. Yeah, that's the vibe that I get. Like, the Final Fantasy speedrun Discord is huge. I think there's thousands of people in it. And,
FF14 speedrun 1.
Oh, God.
They have that. That exists.
Wait.
It's like 1 to 60 or whatever.
1 to... Oh, of course it will be 1 to 60.
I know
it's big. I know it's
right now. They do like a 1 to 60 for a Realm Reborn. I know that exists. I've like watched part of it.
So here's the question: do they do it by grinding, or do they do it by doing the MSQ?
I think they do it by grinding, or they exploit something.
I want the MSQ speedrun.
Well, I mean, if you want, you can just watch the whole story. It's like 160 hours, so have fun with that.
Well, no, I know the whole story. I want to know if someone tried an MSQ speedrun, because that would mean every time there's one of those bullshit Prey Return to the Waking Sands bullshit.
Oh God, the Waking Sands.
That is a joke for a very select amount of people.
Yeah,
I think we should all try to speedrun Countdown Vampires.
No.
Oh,
no. The game's terrible.
What? You liked it.
We should speedrun. No, I never said I liked it.
You totally did.
No,
you did.
You freaking did.
No, I did.
Hey, I actually remembered one of the Aqua Teen quotes because you keep repeating it.
I think if anything, we should try to speedrun Resident Evil 2. I mean, I have the tools for it. I have all the recording stuff.
Yeah, I'd be down for that.
RE2 sounds like it'd be a fun time.
We should
bring it over.
You know, there's also something that so Steve talked about all like the good sides of speedrunning, which there are plenty of, but there's something that I wanted to touch on when Tino said it. He mentioned that the taskbot is a cheat tool. It normally isn't. Steve's right that it is basically a work of art at that point. You're trying to make the perfect speedrun.
Well, I misunderstood what the point was when using
No,
the
but Tino, here's the thing. Your misunderstanding actually hits on something, because there are people who pretend, like they'll make a taskbot run, and they'll pretend to be playing the game and submit that as their speed run.
Right, yeah.
Of course, because people are cheap shits.
Yeah.
Welcome to the internet. People are lying liars who lie.
Actually, I actually have a funny story about that. Do you know ZFG, Will?
Sounds familiar?
He's an Ocarina of Time speedrunner. He's actually the Ocarina of Time speedrunner.
Okay.
Currently.
The only one who ever speed ran.
No, it's not that. He's just literally the best Ocarina of Time speedrunner of all time, honestly.
Leave it to the Koreans.
Yeah, at least until Korea gets wind of it. So,
yeah.
A few years ago, he was actually caught cheating. He used an emulator and passed it off as a real run, like on console. But apparently the community forgave him, so now it's like okay now, and he's still invited back to like Games Done Quick and stuff. I don't know why.
That's weird.
Yeah,
that is strange.
Yeah, I don't remember what his reasoning was. I never really looked into it because I was like, I don't really care that much. I mean, it's fine.
If you admit Huh? I was gonna say, wasn't there that one guy who kind of did something similar? Like that guy Chibi, he used to run Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door.
Yeah, and I vaguely remember this. Yeah, he did something similar. Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then he got banned from GDQ, I think.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people banned from GDQ for other reasons.
I mean, if we want to go down that rabbit hole, I mean,
please, let's not.
I would really prefer if you be quiet.
Yeah, I don't really want to talk about it. I have a lot of hot takes about that whole thing, and I don't want to get canceled tonight. So it's
I mean, oh wait, we didn't get canceled that one episode where we pissed off like all those people. We literally listed everyone we made enemies of that night.
What do you mean?
True.
There's an episode where we kept saying things that would piss people off.
Wait, no. Stop. We've only had, this is the 6th episode. How are we already forgetting things we did in this podcast?
Well, because we do it like every other week. Because we've been doing this for
6 months.
Fair enough. Like, sorry, I know that we were talking about a bit, but this just is like, wait, how can we have... We are not far along enough to have a retrospective moment.
Sure we are.
I mean, I think so.
Our first episode was November last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a long time. I don't even remember what we talked about the first episode. So
the Professor Oak conspiracy?
Oh, yeah.
Now I remember. Now I wish I forget.
Actually, along the lines of speedrunning, there's something I want to bring up, but Steve mentioned earlier, and I'm interested in hearing this. You said you have some hot takes about Bakba Soup.
Well, all right, so I guess I should explain who Bakba Soup is. He is a very prolific Resident Evil franchise speedrunner. He speedruns Resident Evil 1, 2, 3. He's starting to do a little bit of 4 and 5 now, but he's mainly a PlayStation Resident Evil speedrunner, and he does a little bit of the remakes too. I don't know. I think that, you know, over the years he's become jaded, I guess, and I think he doesn't feel as warm about the community as he used to, because he doesn't really collab with anyone anymore, and he's feeling very. And also, you remember when he's been playing all these mods lately, that and just kind of moving away from like doing speed runs and stuff. I think he's
more like showcasing.
Yeah, he's doing like more variety stuff, and just it makes me wonder, you know, what's going on with him, you know.
Maybe he's doing it to get like a change of pace because he doesn't want to get too burned out on the same games.
Yeah, this sounds like burnout to me.
Yeah, well, I mean, he plays Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and that game is enough to burn anybody out because of how random it is.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
I mean, there's also all kinds of, like, you know, life happens, and it can often get in the way of everything else. So
that's true. I mean, I don't know everything about what's going on. I don't watch his stream all the time. I put it on every now and then, but I mean, I'm not going to watch for 8 hours. You know, not on a weeknight anyway. You know. So. But yeah, I think speedrunning is in a good place right now. The community is absolutely huge, and you know, for the people that are okay with ignoring the, you know, more strange side of speedrunning, I'm talking about the community. I'm talking about the community, not necessarily like the concept of speedrunning itself.
I was about to say, oh, these glitches are so strange. Is this a Bethesda game?
Well, I mean, no. There's also people who just like they don't focus on the speedruns or being entertaining to their fans. It's they get to a certain level of prestige, and they try to use that to, I guess, exert influence and do things that maybe they shouldn't be doing.
Well, I don't think speedrunning is that big. If you're talking about like on Twitch, for example, I would say the biggest speedrunner may have 1,000 to 1,500 concurrent viewers at a time. I mean, it's still not huge in the grand scheme of things. It's not a Pokemon or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No, but it's something where, you know, you could have a Games Done Quick event where enough people will watch that, and I'm pretty sure that the people watching that aren't hardcore members of the speedrun community, because the first time I ever watched it, I didn't care about speedrunning.
Right.
And that's actually what got me interested in it.
Yeah.
So I think more and more you hear Games Done Quick. It's a charity event that you could donate to and get a tax write-off.
Yeah.
So people are like, oh, on Wednesday they're going to be playing Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and beating it in 2 hours? That's impossible. I have to see how that's... And then that's how you get someone. You get someone based on the nostalgia of the game that they used to play. So I think... And then you have speedrunners talk about how that event is kind of like it's kind of like getting discovered in your career.
Yeah, it's great advertising for runners,
because
for sure.
If you could go to Games Done Quick, especially more than once, it really boosts like your audience and viewers and everything. Absolutely. You can make more money as a streamer.
Absolutely.
So it's a big deal.
There's plenty of benefits for the Games Done Quick marathon. I mean, it is for charity, obviously, but it's also great advertising for the runners and great advertising for the people that organize it too, like all the sponsors.
Oh yeah.
Like Tokyo Attack, which I think no longer exists anymore, and all the other people that they work with.
The weird thing is that Games Done Quick is the one example I could think of hey, work for us for free and we'll give you publicity that actually helps the person working for free.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, true. There's other marathons, by the way. There's European Speedrunners Association. There's RPG Limit Break.
Yeah. That's the other one I've been starting to get into.
RPG Limit Break is really good. I think the RPG speedrunners as a whole are much better explainers of the stuff that they're doing when they're playing. I think they're just better at explaining.
Well, because I think that Games Done Quick is more for getting people interested in speedrunning, and then once you get interested, it's like the intro course that you take in college, and then you could branch out to like other stuff. Like if you want to get into RPGs, you could find the RPG speedrunning community. If you want to get into the Resident Evil speedruns, you can find that community. If you want to get into the Countdown Vampire speedruns, I'll be starting that community.
Yes, we'll be playing Countdown Vampires at the wonderful event founded by the two best friends, Shitty Games Done Slow.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to mention, because we were talking about Resident Evil 3 and Steve was talking about speedrunning it. There was something I learned. I thought you did.
I want to speedrun Resident Evil 2, not Resident Evil 3. I hate Resident Evil 3.
No, I'm not saying we're gonna speedrun Resident Evil 3 immediately. Okay. I'm saying I thought you mentioned something about Resident Evil, not us speedrunning Resident Evil 3. I thought you mentioned Resident Evil speedruns, Resident Evil 3 speedruns in general. That's what jogged my memory of this.
Oh, I see.
So there was one that I watched from Awesome Games Done Quick. And it was right around the same time that super best friends, Matt and Pat, were playing Resident Evil 3. And I remember watching a video where I remember for years, I didn't realize that when you're in the cable car, you could just turn around and run away from the nemesis.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that blew my mind. I'm like, this is amazing. Well, of course, the very next video for RE3 that Matt and Pat put out, Pat talks about how in like all like in like the God's laughter of coincidences, that speed run, Shitty Games Done Slow, and Matt says, which is the marathon that we're doing. He's like, right, it's corresponding with Awesome Games Done Quick, and someone tweeted that if you want an example of how to actually play Resident Evil 3 and speedrun it, watch Awesome Games Done Quick. If you want an example of what not to do, watch Matt and Pat.
Yeah, accurate.
And that made me very happy.
People say life is full of choices. No one ever mentions running away from danger.
No.
Yeah, true.
But that made me pretty happy. And I have to say, like, there's certain things about Resident Evil speedruns in general that are just... because the things that you learn from that aren't necessarily going to be, here's how you glitch through a wall. Like Steve mentioned this earlier, I think there's one where in Resident Evil 4 you can make Leon just super sprint the entire time, which, that's a glitch.
Yes,
but I don't
it is
care
a glitch.
about that.
Yes.
But I don't care about that. There's certain things like I remember seeing on a forum for one of the AGDQs, I think it was the same one where they speedran RE3, someone mentioned, oh my god, you can choose to fight the nemesis and just grab Brad Starr's card? That's amazing. Like, I don't have to go through the police station if I don't want to, and I want to get faster. And it's like, wow, that's actually pretty cool that, like, this is something that's still teaching people.
Yeah, absolutely.
So my understanding then would be that Resident Evil speedrunning is less about dexterity with the controller and more about efficiency and resource management.
Yeah, I would
say
so.
It's literally the name of the game in Resident Evil is efficiency and resource management. And to do a proper speedrun of Resident Evil, you have to be the best. You have to have the most orderly briefcase you can have.
Although I will say this, in the Resident Evil 2 remake on PC, if there's a glitch, and they never fixed it, by the way. Will knows what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Super
knife.
Yeah, super knife. So you get a knife in the game, and the way the knife damage works is after every interval, there's like a set interval of like when you're swiping the knife, you do a certain amount of damage. Now, if you have a really good computer and can have a very high frame rate, like let's say 120 frames per second, you do more damage because your frames, there's more, and you're going through the monster more times. So it's kind of like the Mega Man thing.
It's like
it's literally the Mega Man thing.
So if I'm understanding it correctly, it's based on the tick events or the clock speed as opposed to an internal timer within the game.
Correct. Yeah. So because you have more frames, the game renders and understands that you're hitting the monster more times per second because you have 120 frames.
So it's like a machine knife. You just like
yeah, and you can just totally decimate bosses. Like Birkin can be killed in like 10 or 11 swipes of the knife. And,
oh my God!
Normally you're fighting that guy for like 3 to 5 minutes.
That literally turns Resident Evil 2 into two things. One, that literally turns Resident Evil 2 into Devil May Cry.
It's like Julie Mao from The Expanse.
Yeah, I have this image of some fan art of Leon with like a dozen after images behind him as he slashes.
Yeah, kinda. Yeah, when I found out about that glitch, I'm like, this is the most amazing glitch I've ever heard of. Because like it's just so ridiculous. Yeah. I can't believe that Capcom coded it that way. They did fix it in Resident Evil 3, by the way.
Resident Evil meets the Matrix.
Doesn't surprise me. But Resident Evil 3, you don't really end up using the knife all that much.
Yeah, I mean, so you don't have to. You don't have to. I mean, it would be hard anyway. With the bosses anyway, it would be too hard.
Well, because the bosses are just all nemesis.
Well, of course. I mean, Leon is Dante.
Yeah.
I also think that with my computer, I could get
I'll explain later,
Tino. I think I could get my frame rate on my computer because of the specs I have up to over 300. So I think one of these days I'm going to experiment with that and fight over.
So is that just like SSJ 3 on Lee, SSJ Leon?
Kinda, yeah.
Sorry, Super Saiyan God Leon Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh, hi Birkin, swipe.
I'm gonna watch a Resident Evil 2 remake speedrun tonight before I go to bed. I want to see it again because it's so hilarious.
Just like how quickly Birkin falls.
Oh man, he just melts, man. It's so funny to watch.
Well, I remember the first time, and Steve, you were there for this, I think, when we were at Neris's, and I showed Ray the knife trick against Will Birkin that you could actually fight him and win with the knife.
Oh, I wasn't there for that.
Yeah, you were.
I may not have been in the room.
You weren't in the room, but you were on the porch, and Ray and Ray came in the room. And I showed him, and like I just remember Ray going like, "You can do that," and hearing you laughing on the porch.
Yeah. Yeah. Now I remember that. Yeah.
That was a good night.
Yeah. It was fun.
Indeed.
But on the topic of speedruns, that actually that kind of got me into a hobby that I started picking up over the past year or so.
You took up running?
Yes.
Oh, wait, that was actually a correct guess?
No.
Okay.
If Natalie could be here and just say, I could barely get him to go on walks. He doesn't run. What are you talking about? But the hobby that I'm getting into, so I want to try speedrunning some of the older games that I used to love growing up. And that has led me to obviously pick up games that everyone loves, like Countdown Vampires, but it's also led me to collect other games like Parasite Eve 1 and 2, Dino Crisis.
You are going down an interestingly old hole.
Yeah. Also...
Phrasing.
Parasite Eve 1 speedrun is hard, man.
Yeah.
By the way, it's not easy at all.
Also,
the thing is that Parasite Eve 1 would be hard to speedrun because it is... So here's the thing. Parasite Eve 2 is... Sorry, what?
I said it's an RPG.
Yeah, no, it's straight up So it looks like Resident Evil, it quacks like Resident Evil, and it plays like Final Fantasy.
Yep, and I love it.
Yeah, it's great.
Also, I want to, because I just got my copy of Fear Effect in the mail.
Fear Effect, really?
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh man, that's a good game, man.
1 second, guys. Hold on. Let me.
While
if
you
I cannot
gone,
die.
I will explain to Tino. Have you ever heard of Parasite Eve?
No, I'm feeling like such a normie right now. I haven't heard of any of these games.
So the reason you haven't heard of them is because these are very much PlayStation games.
That's
these
why.
are PS1 era games. Parasite Eve was developed by the Final Fantasy VII team. Tetsuya Nomura did the character designs on it.
Okay, so these are all like obscure Japanese games then?
It was going to be FF8, but it wasn't working out, so they just made it a different game.
Okay.
And Parasite Eve. So Parasite Eve is a JRPG set in Manhattan.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep.
Huh.
And you play as a policewoman named Aya Brea, who through various circumstances gains crazy superpowers, and basically it becomes a turn-based Resident Evil where you have magic spells.
Yeah, she becomes a goddess or a god or whatever.
Well,
like
okay,
that,
that's a bit of a spoiler for the end of the game, but yeah.
I mean, it's a 20-year-old game, so
superheroes in Manhattan. We've never seen that before.
Yeah.
She is not a superhero. It is fucking weird.
The game is very strange, but it's really good. I really enjoy it.
Weird stuff in Manhattan. We've never seen that before.
No, never.
So,
Never.
by the way, Tino, it's literally an entire game based off of a tiny bit of inaccurate information you got in high school biology, which is mitochondria are the powerhouse of the cell.
Yeah, the game's actually about mitochondria. It's awesome.
Yeah, and so the entire game is literally a
Gotta
game
make that
evolved
ATP.
from that.
Yeah.
I highly
have
recommend playing
no
it.
fucking idea. I swear to God, dude, this is a game where literally a dude shouts before they burst into the flame, "The day of nuclei domination is over. Long live mitochondria."
Yep.
So
Dude, trust me.
let me get. So it's a battle of the sexes between maternally inherited mitochondrial DNA and nuclear DNA.
I wouldn't call it a battle of the sexes. It's kind of hard to explain because
Are they
Eve
like
is the name of two characters.
You fight mitochondria dinosaurs.
Yeah,
Yep.
that.
Listen.
And in the second game,
you have
so
to
the
play it. Dude,
was someone reading like a molecular biology textbook and be like, I can make a game out of this?
Dude,
Yes.
what really blows my mind is
it's worse than that, Tino, because someone read a microbiology textbook and said, I'll write a novel out of this, and then a bunch of Japanese developers read that novel and went, I'm going to make a video game sequel to this novel.
Yep.
Yeah. I read the book. I read the book, by the way. It's really good. Yeah.
There we go.
There it is.
Never will. I love you. Don't play the third birthday.
The what?
Dude, that game is trash.
The
Don't
thing
play
that doesn't exist?
My third birthday was bad too. I don't recommend it.
The literal character assassination of Aya Brea.
Yeah, pretty much. But by the way, so Tino, just as a brief thing.
By the way, it's a Squaresoft game, so
yeah,
I don't know how to explain that.
Before there was Square Enix, there was this company called Squaresoft, and they had some weird shit going on.
Like Kingdom Hearts.
No,
Yes.
Kingdom Hearts was firmly Enix.
That was Square Enix. They already merged at that point.
The first Kingdom Hearts game is Squaresoft.
Bullshit.
All right, let's look.
Thank you, Steve, for doing it so I don't have to.
Yep, you got it. Let's see. It's
If you're right, I'm gonna drive down to Philly to strangle you.
He might be right, actually. It says Square.
It's
Doesn't
developed
say
by
Squaresoft.
Square. It's just Square, but
When
Square.
did this game come out?
Square had
What,
ceased
Kingdom
being
Hearts 2?
soft by that point.
I think they merged with Square Enix the same year.
Hold on.
Oh my god, does that mean Kingdom Hearts is the last Squaresoft game?
I thought Final Fantasy X was. No?
Okay, so Square merged with Enix in 2003.
Okay, so that's the next.
And KH1 came out in 2002. So maybe Kingdom Hearts 1 was the Final Fantasy.
Oh, god damn it!
That's not a good feeling.
I love
No, it's
being
not!
right.
That actually hurts, and I'm a guy who generally likes Kingdom Hearts, and that hurts. Because Kingdom Hearts to me is embellished. Kingdom Hearts is both everything right and wrong with Square Enix games.
Man, Kingdom Hearts is fucking trash, dude.
I know!
Every episode we come back to complaining about Kingdom Hearts.
Because it's not bad! It sucks, bro. It's good junk food.
Alright, so wait.
Are you
guys,
entertained?
Guys, just for Tino's benefit. So Parasite Eve, I'm going to read the back for you. The cinematic RPG. One of them is a police officer. The other is possessed by an ancient evil threatening all life on Earth. The horrifying bond between them will continue until something dies. A chilling adventure that could only come from the creators of Final Fantasy VII. An epic sci-fi tale told through stunning 3D rendered sequences. Absolutely yes. Battle mutant monsters in real-time polygon combat. And customize weapons, armor, and character abilities. I want to make a quick aside here.
Polygon
I don't know if
combat.
you guys watch The Sphere Hunter on YouTube.
I watch.
Oh yeah, Susie, she's great.
I love her. I love her to death and back. She talks old school survival horror games, and she did a whole series about Parasite Eve, and she really nails a lot of the points better than I ever could.
Sphere hunting. In England, they call that billiards.
I mean, true. But then I also, for reference, Tina, so I showed you Parasite Eve 1, Parasite Eve 2.
Which is
things go downhill. Parasite Eve 2, I'm sorry, Will, but AKA things go downhill from here.
The non-director's cut version of the first Resident Evil game.
Oh, that's
wow.
the redesign.
Shit.
I still got the big box, the huge motherfucker.
Yeah, with clowns farting in the basement. Silent Hill 1.
That you got in New York.
Yeah, and paid $70 for.
Yeah, that's way too much for Silent Hill 1.
You know what? It's fine. I just needed a copy that I could play.
He was in New York. Of course he overpaid.
Dino Crisis.
Dino Crisis 1 is good. I love
Dino Crisis. Dino Crisis is one of those series that starts off. So Dino Crisis is before there was Resident Evil 4, there was Dino Crisis. If the action game to the survival horror.
So what Dino Crisis, is that like a Jurassic Park type thing, or
it's Resident Evil with dinosaurs? That's basically
yes. Basically. It's Resident Evil, but it's Resident Evil but dinosaurs.
Okay, so it's
there's also
all right.
Now these are all greatest hits editions that I got each one for $20 back in the day in like 2009.
Yeah, that's a good deal. You got it before like it exploded.
Oh yeah,
price.
Hold on, Will. If we're doing this flex, I got to show you what my girlfriend blighted me with.
Sure, but give me 1 second
because Vicky did blight
me
with this.
Steve.
Nice. I got a new processor.
Oh, Ryzen 7.
Ryzen 7 5000 series, 5800X, baby.
Oh, so you're technically better than me.
I'm waiting for the motherboard to come in.
I have a light.
That's cool.
So this is an original
Japanese. What can I use in here? What can I pick up?
I want to point out that this is a Japanese copy of this game, and this game is shit. It is one of the worst things that Square has ever produced.
A circle?
Oh my god!
I have Persona 5 Royal.
You know, Tino, you say a circle, but truly, I do believe in that. That God bless the ring.
Oh, that's awesome!
Guys. Oh, God.
Yeah, we gotta play that.
No, we don't.
No, we don't.
Also, wait, hold on, I'll be right back.
First off, get a Japanese PlayStation, because I don't...
Circle, Taurus, I was close enough.
I have a Japanese PlayStation.
Guys, I'll be right
Let me
back.
see it. Hold on. I have a Japanese PlayStation. 1 second.
Aren't all PlayStations Japanese?
No, I mean, it's literally... so, Tino, this is literally encoded NTSC-J.
So it's like a region locked.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, this is my Japanese PlayStation 1. I play Biohazard on this.
So PlayStation.
Yeah, this is my Super Famicom with Final Fantasy VI. What else do I got in here?
And now, class, we're going to have show and tell.
We're having show and tell. This is my NES Classic that I hacked. This is my PlayStation Mint Classic that I hacked.
Will and Dave are gone. Steve is showing off his Sony stuff.
I know, man.
This is my Game Boy Advanced SP that somehow still works. And
this is my retro tank that I used to put composite in the HDMI.
Nice.
Oh, cool.
This, and somehow it has this, which is someone took the Mother 3 fan translation and actually encoded it onto a GBA cart.
I think that's all the good stuff that I have in this box. I have a whole collection that are in clear bins and stuff.
But the reason
I brought Guys here is because this is a horrible, horrible fighting game that got famous for one reason. FF7 characters are playable in this game. Literally, on the back of this box. On the back of this box, there's Sephiroth throwing down to some loser.
That kind of reminds me of, because I was, so obsessed with Halo when I was younger. DOA 4 had a playable Spartan, Nicole 458.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And that was the only reason I even knew about the game, because I was like, oh, okay. Oh, wow, she's taller than everyone else. All right.
Yeah, that's the only reason you played that game, Tino.
I never even played that game.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So I can't talk about DOA without talking about the fact that DOA, oh, wait, you mean Virtua Fighter?
Yep.
Which hurts my soul to say.
So, guys, in line of what I just showed off a few minutes ago, I have one more thing to display.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this CD doesn't look like much. In fact, if you open up the cover and read it, it says, "The Christmas Music of Johnny Mathis, a Personal Collection." And that is because during the holidays, I accidentally used this case to hold this CD. This is the case to Countdown Vampires. I don't know if you can see it in the webcam there.
Yeah.
But
what did you fucking do?
So what happened was I was playing Countdown Vampires in my PS3. I put this Christmas CD in this case in order to just have it stored somewhere because I couldn't find the case that it came in. One day, when I was going up to see Natalie, I decided I was going to bring Countdown Vampires to torture her. And when I got there, I opened the box, and I realized that I had not brought the first disc of Countdown Vampires, but rather the Christmas Music of Johnny Mathis, a personal collection, so we listened to nothing.
Karma!
So put that on.
Karma!
God defended your girlfriend from your bullshit.
That time.
Thank God.
Although, you want to hear... So, as another thing, so I recently got Fear Effect in the mail. Mm-hmm. I brought it up in the packaging and everything, and when Natalie saw it and asked what it was, I said, "Hey, sweetie, did you know they made a sequel to Countdown Vampires?" And the immediate look of hatred that filled her eyes. I almost didn't want to open it, but I'm like, if I open it, I could save myself by revealing I was lying.
Natalie, if you did it, no one here would blame you. No jury would convict you. If you're listening to this,
now this is going to be used in the trial.
Natalie, if you're listening to this, we will not ask where you bury him.
I mean, that was just,
I don't even know you guys. I came into the wrong Zoom meeting.
You really screwed up, Steve, because you're on Discord.
Yeah, you came into the wrong Discord meeting for the past hour and a half. And episode, 6?
Tino,
listen, man.
I owe you an apology about something. So, Tino, can I apologize to Tino about something I did yesterday?
Oh no!
What did you do?
So I don't know if you remember our mutual friend Chris mentioning this during the sessions, but the orchestra has been having some fun activities, since we can't meet in person and do dumb bullshit after rehearsal. And one of them was book reports when you didn't read the book, but for video games.
Oh yes, she did post something about that.
Yes, and my thing was, I don't have a lot of video game franchises that I don't know a lot about. But I do know something, is that I was big into Halo, and I dropped off immediately midway through 2.
Yeah, honestly, it started falling apart after 3, so you didn't miss a whole lot.
I did my book report on Halo. And my entire thing was, so apparently And my entire thing was, this is Halo 1 and 2, which I know, and then from this point on, I don't know shit. Who's this asshole as I point to Halo 5? I don't know.
I'm into Halo and I still don't know. I'm like, this is, what, why?
All I am going to say, though, is that my presentation, I tried to be funny. Mike had the best presentation because he did something on Castlevania that was 90% corporate speak. And it was hilarious and eviscerated the soul in the process.
Nice.
Because he got every stupid corporate buzzword in there that he could.
Oh my goodness. Nice. That sounds amazing.
There's going to be there's a recording of this somewhere. I'll send it to you.
I very much would like to see it because this sounds very entertaining.
Oh, it was. And the next version we're doing is that you have 5 minutes to sales pitch a obscure series that no one else plays. I get to get on my Yakuza bullshit again.
I feel like that's might be a little on the mainstream side based on how you talk about it. But...
I'm starting to realize
now.
It's getting more mainstream. It is. Like...
Yeah.
But yeah, hold on a second.
Well, anyway, we should probably wrap up a little soon.
Yeah.
Because, I actually I'm traveling tomorrow, so I have to go to
So where are you going?
Yeah.
Going to Lancaster. There was Zenkaikon was supposed to be this weekend, but pandemic and all. So
yeah,
we're like, all right, we'll just keep the hotel and we'll go do some stuff. The problem is it's going to rain tomorrow and Friday, so I don't know.
Enjoy your drive, dude. Jeez.
Yeah, I don't even know what we're going to do there, but we'll figure it out. We'll order food.
Yeah. You know what? Even if there's nothing to really do, just hanging out in a hotel kind of feels like a vacation if you're stuck.
I did that on Halloween with Vicky. Straight up, it's good.
If I was still living in Lebanon, I'd offer to meet you guys. It would take me like an hour and a half to get there from where I live, though. But if you still wanted to meet up and do something, depending on what time you're still going to be there, I mean.
I don't even know what we would be able to do, honestly. So,
So, from what I hear, some of the bars are still open. So if you want to go get like dinner somewhere, you could do that. And I think their farmers markets are still up and running.
Yeah, we're going to go to the farmers market.
If you don't mind driving 45 minutes to Myerstown, there's a gun range that I know is going to be open.
Oh, God. Well, it's I'm going with 2 other women, so I don't know if that's really a good idea.
Teach them to shoot.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, are you going with Meg and Flora?
Yeah.
Tell Meg I said hey.
I will. We're also going to what is it? It's some like historical railroad thing, train stuff. We're going there tomorrow.
The Lionel train set factory.
It is Strasbourg.
Yeah, Strasbourg.
Yeah, I have my inner 8-year-old is very happy.
Yeah, so that'll be fun, but it's gonna rain and it's probably gonna rain heavy. So,
yay!
We'll see. Yeah, be careful, dude. Drive safe.
That means I'm probably gonna have to work out in it.
Yeah,
oh, that's not good.
Fun times.
Be safe, all y'all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, America, I bid you good night.
You
and
are?
Canada, and wherever.
Are you sure? And don't lie to me or I'll know.
All right, everybody. Good night.
Bye.
We've got to come out with a better ending.